The Royal Rumble has come and gone, leaving WWE fans with a much clearer picture of the road to WrestleMania. Unfortunately, The Fiend is yet to make his triumphant return, and was totally absent from the pay-per-view, surprising many fans. Fans are also wondering why WWE didn't bring him back the next night on Raw. This question has been running rampant online, creating a very intense discussion about what is next for The Fiend. It has also created some doubt about him getting a high-profile match at WrestleMania 37. With that being said, and The Fiend still absent from television, here are 5 possible reasons why this could be the case. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Number 5. WWE keeping fans on the edge of their seat by withholding The Fiend. Many WWE fans are hanging on the edge of their seat waiting for The Fiend's return, and that's possibly how the company wants it. This is evident in the numerous false teases we have seen in the form of Alexa Bliss in her segments on Raw. Fans were left speechless when The Fiend didn't return at the Royal Rumble, and it left a lot of questions up in the air. Another thing that created questions was Alexa Bliss being unceremoniously dumped out of the Royal Rumble, which was confusing, due to how many thought she would win. WWE seems to be creating this storyline of injustice. Only time will tell as to whether or not things will start to pick up again for Alexa Bliss, The Fiend, and the pair as a unit. Number 4. WWE still not knowing what to do with The Fiend. What if WWE simply doesn't know what to do with The Fiend at this year's edition of WrestleMania? While that might sound ridiculous, especially with what they managed to do with him and John Cena last year, it's possible creative plans for the character haven't been nailed down yet. Some fans are convinced they will be seeing The Fiend in a title match at WrestleMania 37, which is going to put WWE in a very tough position. Now, the company could achieve this by having The Fiend enter in the title picture later on, but that doesn't seem to be their intention right now. Randy Orton seems to be out of the title picture after his loss to Edge on Raw, which means he will most likely resume his feud with The Fiend. This means that unless WWE chooses to insert The Fiend into a title picture at a later date, he will most likely not have a championship match before WrestleMania. Number 3. WWE saving The Fiend for the FASTLANE pay-per-view. FASTLANE will mark WWE's first pay-per-view as a part of the Peacock streaming service, and the company could be looking to make a statement with The Fiend. Fortunately for them, they have been playing up the return of The Fiend, which could be their ticket to a huge opening night on the platform. The Fiend has arguably become one of the most popular superstars in WWE, and many fans hang on the character's every move. Maybe that has to do with the gothic horror undertones, or just how magnificent Bray Wyatt is in the role, but it is something that is considered must-see TV for WWE fans at the moment. WWE needs a good showing on their new streaming network, and that is going to require keeping The Fiend off television. Of course that's not going to be a popular move at first, but the company is absolutely right in using him to try to pop a rating. It might even be what helps solidify their partnership with the network, and gets them through this rough transition period. Number 2. WWE wanting to focus on storylines other than The Fiend. The road to WrestleMania 37 is a long one and WWE has a lot of work to do between now and their biggest show of the year. With that in mind, and many of their big matches still not etched in stone, it makes sense for the company to keep The Fiend off television in order to focus on other storylines. While some might think The Fiend should be among those storylines being given television time, there might just be too much to accomplish right now. In fact, between Edge not announcing his decision on who to challenge at WrestleMania 37, and Drew McIntyre just starting his feud with Sheamus, it looks like the company has other things that are a bigger priority. In the end, this could actually turn out to be good news for The Fiend. For example, he could easily punch his ticket to WrestleMania by winning a match at Fastlane, and go from there. In the meantime, WWE has far bigger issues they could be dealing with before the show of shows. Number 1. WWE doesn't want The Fiend in the title picture. It's possible WWE doesn't want The Fiend in the title picture, based on his previous run as champion. But The Fiend not appearing right now could turn out to be a godsend. If WWE did to The Fiend what they did to Alexa Bliss during the Women's Royal Rumble, having him lose the Men's Rumble in such a flippant fashion, it would have seriously damaged his character, killing any of his momentum on the road to WrestleMania. leaving fans with a sour taste in their mouths. In the end, The Fiend not being in the title picture would be a huge hit to his fans, but the damage could be mitigated by a high-profile match at WrestleMania 37. Whether that turns out to be another bout against John Cena, or something even more magical, The Fiend could still be heading for greatness at this year's WrestleMania. Lars Sullivan quits wrestling. More details regarding WWE release. Lars Sullivan has commented on the recent news surrounding his WWE departure, according to Fightful Select. After Fightful reached out to the former NXT and SmackDown star, Sullivan confirmed that he had in fact been released from the company, saluting WWE for their compassion and honesty in regards to their handling of the whole situation. The wrestler also noted that he informed WWE of his desire to hang up his wrestling boots after battling crippling anxiety issues, with things getting so bad that Sullivan would struggle eating during filming for TV days, and found it hard to sleep. It was also revealed that the star lost his father last year, which only added to his struggles. Sullivan also claimed that he was his own worst enemy, owning up to his multiple controversies and calling out his own idiocy and his own selfish behavior. He also explained that he's likely done with wrestling, despite it being his dream job. When asked about his WWE career, Sullivan had positive things to say about the experience, specifically revealing that he felt his infamous shirtless sit-down interview with Michael Cole was something he enjoyed and saw as a way of WWE adding more depth to his on-screen character. Sullivan also hammered home that he wasn't bullied out of the company, and was treated well by both the office and locker room. Backstage news and Riddle's WWE contract extension. Per a new report from Fightful Select, WWE has signed Riddle to a new contract extension. The report states that while the promotion had initially hoped for the United States Championship contender to ink a new deal before 2020 ticked over into 2021, this didn't happen, but Riddle is now under contract with WWE until the end of 2023. His new contract is described as a full-on replacement of one that he signed back in summer 2018. December brought reports that WWE had offered Riddle a 3-year deal with a $400,000 downside guarantee, plus an extra $50,000 for every Saudi Arabian show worked. Such trips have been made impossible by the ongoing global health crisis. The 35-year-old is currently being sued for $10 million by Samantha Tavel, who alleges Riddle committed multiple acts of sexual assault against her between 2017 and 2020. WWE, Gabe Sapolsky, and Evolve were also named as defendants. Personally, I say, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button, and if you have something to say, please leave a comment.
Oh, let me up with a bright smile on now. Put me in the dark, so won't get lost now. To the moonlight, I see